Hello, everyone, and welcome to the annual Hudson Police Department and Fire Department Halloween Safety Talk. I'm supposed to be here with my co-host, Steve Dube, but he's not around, so I think I'm going to have to...
Here I am. I'm
Whoa,
right here.
hey,
What's
Steve,
going on?
no, what are you doing? That's not safe.
What's the matter? What's the matter?
Whoa, you got to put that... You can't be wearing live candles on your head.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I can't even see you. You're all darked out. What are you doing?
Hi.
Whew,
Hey, what do you think about the rest of the costume? What do you think?
I think it's too drapey. You're going to trip. There's a trip hazard right there. I think there's a lot of things that are not safe about that costume.
Is that me on fire?
Ooh, yeah, see? You don't want to be catching on fire either. Be careful.
Look at that. Here, let's put this down here. Oh, that's kind of dangerous. Good thing we have the water right there.
Yeah.
We'll put it right next to the water.
An open flame is always dangerous.
Okay. Well, I had a good bag, though. I guess it wasn't very bright, though, huh?
No, not
Probably
very.
the gloves, not a good idea, right?
Sometimes it does get cold, but we have to be aware. Maybe reflective gloves or a lighter side gloves.
Well, I'm glad I've got you here to show me the right things to do. And, hey, we even have stuff out front, don't we? Oh, look at that. Hey, look, there's a candle out there. It's a real candle. You know, probably not a good idea to have a real candle. You know, they have plenty of battery-operated candles out there, so we probably should get rid of this one. There's just too many things sometimes that could be near that candle. There could be some other crepe paper and stuff around, right? Not a good idea, because that could catch on fire. And then, I wonder why we have this. Well, now that I think of it, I didn't finish this project like I was supposed to, but I should have an open electrical if I'm gonna plug stuff in. Not a very good idea, so we shouldn't use that extension cord. We probably shouldn't use any extension cords. If we can plug things directly into outlets, it's a lot safer. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of this too. Boy, I brought the wrong stuff. What do you think, Jason?
Oh, well, that's kind of the unsafe stuff, but I think there's definitely a safe way that we can have our Halloween costumes, decorations, and all the fancy stuff outside of our yards that are very safe and won't hurt people.
That's true, yeah. They probably should just make sure that when they have their stuff plugged in outside, just make sure it's got some maybe waterproof connections. Maybe they cover up those connections so they don't start a fire. Maybe get too much resistance on the outside. Maybe use the right size cord. Make sure it's one that's grounded. It's got a 3-prong grounded, and it's grounded to somewhere, maybe a house outlet. Be much easier for you. Hey, let's. What about being outside on a bike or something? Because I bet you there's some kids going to be out there to be doing their trick-or-treating on bikes.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that, Steve. The Hudson hours for Halloween are going to be on Halloween night from 6 to 8, so 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So it's going to start to get dark out probably halfway through or right as we're about to kick off. So ultimately, when you mention bikes, a lot of people don't know this, but you have to follow certain rules and regulations, when you're riding a bike. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So usually at night, it's going to require a headlamp, or a front light. And then on the rear,
I probably shouldn't wear this over my head again, huh?
Probably not, no.
Okay.
Not very nice. You probably should have reflective gear.
Reflective gear.
So a headlight, and then you have to have a reflective on the rear, a blinking red light, so people can see you from both directions, whether they're coming up behind you or straight at you.
So does that mean I should be driving with the traffic or against the traffic?
The law states you should be driving with the traffic when you're on a bike.
Didn't know that either. Don't I walk against the traffic?
Sometimes people do because they can sometimes see the cars at them because people have distracted driving. But
if I'm on my
ultimately, you're
bike,
supposed to be going with the flow of traffic.
Okay, I get it. All right, that's good. I'm glad you told me about that one.
Just to let you know that the Hudson Police Department will be out with cruisers, handing out candy. All the patrol officers will be going in and out of neighborhoods with bags of candy. So please feel free to come up and say hello to those police officers as well.
And at the same time, the firefighters will be out there also. Some of them on bikes, some of them walking around. They'll have some glow sticks. They'll be giving out glow sticks again like they've done in the past. The local 3154 that's provided that, we appreciate that. And they'll be out with the engines too. So if you see an engine that stopped on a corner, maybe they got their lights on, you can definitely stop in and maybe take a look inside the engine. That'd be good too. if we're at somebody's house, we want to make sure if we're going to a friend's house that we know that friend's house, where the exits are. If they have some type of spooky haunt, maybe in their porch or something, make sure you know how to get off that porch in case something happens.
I love those haunted houses. Those are
like
really
those?
cool.
You like those? Yeah,
yeah,
got a couple in.
Is there anything I should know about if I'm going into a house?
Yeah, you want to make sure that when you go in the house, make sure that you can see, there's enough light that you can see. Maybe somebody's got a smoke machine. Maybe somebody's using some type of fog or something. You want to still make sure you can see. What we tell our firefighters is if they can't see their feet when they're walking, then they probably should be crouching down low. Hopefully you won't be going to some type of haunt that has so much smoke and so much fog that you can't see your feet, so you have to crawl. But you want to still be able to see. If you still see your feet, you can stand up and walk through, which would be good. Hopefully there'll be some exit signs. We have some exit signs here. We know how to get out of the exits. If you go somewhere, maybe somebody else is putting up some different types of some exit signs, so you know where those exits are.
You like flashlights? What about flashlights?
Oh, you know what? It's a really good idea that if we're outside and instead of having the candle like I had on my head, or maybe the candle that I had at my display out front, I should be using some type of battery-operated light. They have battery-operated candles these days that you can use. Let's say if I had a pumpkin and I wanted to light that pumpkin that's at my house, I would want to use some type of long matches, maybe the matches that you use for your fireplace, so you can keep your hands away from that flame so you don't get burnt. Or you could use one of those utility lighters, a utility lighter that's nice and long, something you use for a gas grill maybe. Those are a lot easier to use too. We'll look right out front. It looks like we have some of those really good battery-operated ones out front. These are the battery-operated ones that work much better. If I had a nice jack-o'-lantern, I could put one of those battery-operated ones in the jack-o'-lantern too, and that would work out real great. I've got a really good setup here. I don't have any stuff that's too close to flames, open flames. I have no open flames, so I'm using the battery-operated ones. Let's think about if I did have a costume that was maybe a little bit draped, maybe had some extra pieces of fabric on it, and if my clothes did catch on fire, I'd want to remember those 3 special words. You don't know what those are, do you?
I think one the police use all the time. Stop.
Stop. That's a good one. Yep.
Yeah.
Stop what I'm doing. Stop what I'm doing.
Okay. Maybe drop.
Second one. Oh, drop on the ground. Right. I'm going to drop right on the ground. I'm going to cover my face, so I don't want to burn my nice blonde white mustache.
Yep. And then roll.
And
I would
roll.
say.
I'm going to roll back and forth. That'll stop the fire. So stop, drop, and roll. Hey, that's not just for little kids. That's really for anybody. You catch on fire, if you happen to be near a campfire or something, if I can get up now, we'll be all set. That's a good thing to remember. Thank you for remembering those 3 words. I appreciate that, Jason. So there's some nice, easy ways to make those lights work at home. We already showed you that extension cord that didn't have a cover on it. Not a good idea.
So I think also too is, for the little kids and parents, we need to try to be mindful and, keep an eye on your children. Don't let them get too far. I would probably say a house, ahead, but be mindful of the traffic. We don't shut down roads, and it is open to the public, and people do travel down these roads. So, and sometimes if you're wearing darker garments, they might not be able to see you. So make sure that you have your children in sight, and make sure that, I know it's a very exciting time to get candy and free candy, and we're running back and forth, but make sure if we're going to cross the road, definitely make sure we wait for a parent. And then maybe, obviously look both ways and make sure that it's safe to go. And even a small neighborhood that, it doesn't have necessarily you're crossing a major road, make sure that if we're going across, because if we usually go down one house and we kind of zigzag through, make sure that we're looking both ways, because some people might not be potential seeing you, especially if you're smaller and below the bumper height. It could be very dangerous for the little ones.
That could be really dangerous, absolutely. Hey, do you think I should walk with a big group, or should I stay single line? How do you think I should walk?
Well, it's okay to have a big group with people, but we probably should, try to, slow down, probably a bigger group, maybe no more than 2 deep really, because obviously we do have to allow traffic to flow properly as well. So
absolutely.
We don't want to cause too much of congestion. It can, and all of a sudden, if you're in a big huddled group, you might not be able to see if someone's missing or not too.
That's
as well.
excellent. That's a smart idea. Hey, and remember, if you're having kids or someone over at your house, or maybe you're just having a house party, now's the time to check your smoke detectors. We just changed, when we change the clocks coming up, you wanna, if you have a battery operated smoke detector, you wanna make sure you change that battery, put a fresh battery in there. And while you're checking that smoke detector or carbon monoxide detector, either one, checking the batteries, make sure you look at the manufacture date of your smoke detector, your carbon monoxide detector, and just make sure they're within 7 or 8 or 9 years of the manufacture date. If they're older than that, it's time to change them. If you have battery operated smoke detectors, or 110 volt smoke detectors that are hooked up to the house electrical, you wanna make sure you get the same thing. You can bring those right down to either Home Depot, the Julie's True Value here in town, or Lowe's. Bring it with you, have them match it up. Don't worry about that connector, because usually inside the box there's a connector that's gonna match the one that you have. So Jason, is this better? Am I wearing the much better, brighter clothes to be out doing my trick-or-treating?
I love it. So obviously, you know, sometimes we don't want to really take away from a costume, but at the same time, we definitely need to be safe. I know some of the cool costumes that they have the all black on and it looks really good, but at the same time, it's not very safe. So we have to be mindful of that as well, because we want you to be safe and enjoy it. So sometimes if you can have something a little reflective, perfectly like this, as you can see, it's not all reflective. We do have some sections, but as well as the flashlight. So we want to be able to have the flashlight in front of us so we can see in front of us, because obviously when we're walking, sometimes we might have a mask and our vision might be obscured a little bit and we might not be able to see. Yes, hopefully we can see everything, but sometimes we might not see that curb. And we don't want anyone tripping and getting an injury or hurting themselves. So just be mindful of that with the flashlights. Obviously we have a bag, you know, when we have it, you know, a bright bag.
I brought this bag specifically because that's how much candy I'm looking to get.
Oh, good for you. That is fantastic. And I wish you the best.
Thanks.
Hopefully, I mean, the firemen have a lot of stuff to eat, you know, and we're too busy stopping crime, so we don't really always have time to eat all the snacks like you guys do.
I think I get your dog all set.
All right, yeah. So Haven's really excited about trick-or-treating, as you can tell as well, because obviously that is a big bag of candy, but be mindful as well, people.
Absolutely.
That everyone else, when you do have a dog, or if you have a dog at home, chocolate can be very dangerous for dogs.
Oh, absolutely.
Haven's definitely wants to remind all the dogs out there to be mindful and do not eat on any of your owner's candy. So be sharing and be kind, but please best be mindful of the dogs. Don't leave it laying around. We don't want anyone being rushed to the vet, because obviously they are a member of our family as well.
Absolutely. And speaking about candy, let's make sure when you do get those candies, the first thing you have to do when you get home is make sure mom and dad are looking at those candies, because we want to make sure those candies are safe. You don't want to pick up anything that hasn't really been pre-packaged. You want to make sure that candy is safe and there's no foreign objects in them. We want to make sure everyone has a great time in Halloween for trick or treat this year. Could you give that date again? I forgot the date already.
I believe it's October 31st, and it's in Hudson. So we're going to be celebrating on Halloween, and it's going to be from 6 to 8. Be mindful, 6 to 8.
Hey, Jason, I appreciate you letting me help you out today, or you helped me out today.
Yes.
I'm glad we got rid of the bad costume and we're wearing a better costume, and hopefully we'll see you again.
We'll definitely see you out there. As like we said, Hudson Fire Department and the Hudson Police Department will be around, and we'll be out and out handing out candy, glow sticks. There are going to be mountain bikes around. And please feel free to say hello to everyone that you see as a first responder. We're here to help you guys and make this a fun event. So thank you again, and everyone have a great night.
Have a great night. Thanks a lot. And here we are, Haven and I going out to do our Halloween trick-or-treating. You can see Haven real well because she's got her glow sticks on, and I have a better costume on. So if the cars come up on me, you can see me. There we go. Great job. Okay, Haven, go for it. Go get that candy. Nice job.